So Rick Mayo, welcome to Behind the Windshield with Dennis the Apprentice.
Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate the opportunity.
You got it. So tell me about yourself. Are you a plumber?
You know, I started as a plumber.
Okay.
My brother got me into the business. I was 17 years old. He had already been in the plumbing business about 3 or 4 years and got me a job as an apprentice right out of high school and started turning wrenches. Actually, my first job was just to sit there and hang gas meters
Awesome.
on buildings. And then I got introduced to the Rigid 300.
Oh,
You know
yes.
what that is?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. And I was running gas pipe. And that
Black
started
iron
with
gas
a-
pipe threader.
Yeah, in Alaska, and of course, cold.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I would love to talk about your apprenticeship. So Dennis the Apprentice, I'm trying to help people that just got into the trade. They think they messed up by not going to college.
Oh no.
And little do they know, they just got a winning lottery ticket.
Yeah.
So tell me about your apprenticeship, like how you maybe some of your successes and struggles, and how you excelled. And
Well, what it did, it gave me a good introduction to what the trade was, and I never even tested out. I never got my journeyman license. At about 3.5 years into it, I realized there were some good opportunities in the sales into the business.
okay,
So again, I would have done my 4 years and then taken my test for journeyman, but I decided, look, there's some opportunities to. I went to work for a little mom and pa a plumbing store at the time. It was one of those places up in Anchorage that they were known as if no one else had this product, this company would have it. It was called Tom's Plumbing and Heating.
okay,
And they had a great reputation, for buying product and bringing it back to life and selling things, like I said, that no one else had. So I went to work for them behind the counter because I had 3.5 years of plumbing experience. I could help their customers out when you're standing right at the counter. And again, I wasn't designing their systems or anything. I would just have the ability to be able to understand, what plumbing rules were and
Right.
and putting things together and coming up with a plan for them that would work for them. And that could be anything from faucet cartridges to drain, waste, and vent and even heating, because we did boilers and baseboard and all that stuff. So it was a good transition
So after 3 or 4 years of an apprenticeship, you went into the sales side.
into the sales side. Yeah.
So that's what I love to hear as well. It's like some people think the trades is just the work, but they don't realize, like, when you go to one of these trade shows, these trades are vast as far as what they need, like as far as sales or engineering or whatever else.
It's a foot in the door to all kinds of different things. And for me, it was sales. And eventually I got out of the sales and into the instructing and training and that sort of thing. And I've been doing that for many years now. So, and I love it, And in fact, when I took this job with Takeo, it was like, no, I'm going for a job where I am an instructor, not a regional sales manager anymore. So I was able to take that hat off and put on the hat that was something that I love to do, and that's teach. And I'm more, we're sitting in front of cameras right now. I'm more of a live guy, right? Nick knows that. I've talked to him about it before as well, and I would much prefer the one-on-one, the face-to-face, and I feel more comfortable. It's not like I'm uncomfortable right now, but I had 1.5 years sitting behind my desk doing webinars and this sort of thing, and I just really was itching to get back out. And it's been good. I've been probably traveling for the last 7-8 months, and that's almost every week. So
Wow.
I'm back at it, and I'm loving it. So
Very cool. Very cool. So how long have you been with Takeo?
a little over 7 years now.
You've been 7 years with Takeo.
Yep.
And what's Takeo primarily do? Pumps and
Pumps and controls and valves and that sort of thing in the hydronic industry that, we made a name for ourselves. Most people in this industry will know who Takeo was. And Takeo, I'll give you a little history on that. Thermal Appliance Company. It's just a abbreviation or acronym for Thermal Appliance Company. A lot of people don't know that, right?
That's
and it's
very cool.
Takeo, not taco or taco. And
Yeah.
they also had this goes back to the 70s, I believe. A taco is for heating and tacos are for eating.
Awesome.
Or you could turn it around and say tacos are for eating, but tacos for heating.
That's right. Absolutely. Very cool. So what do you like about teaching? Like what turns you on about teaching?
Well, I think back to what I didn't know, and I try to present things the way I would have wanted to hear them.
Sure.
And we talked after our class today, talking to some apprentices of your folks, and I said, "Hey, I totally get. I've sat through these classes, and things have gone right over my head." I said, "Don't worry about it. You're going to sit through another class, or somebody else is going to say it just slightly a different way." So, that's what I like. I like to see the light go off. I like to see the click. I like to see them, nodding like this, and most of the time it does. Because I'm going to say something more than just one way. Because my goal is to say, if I'm not getting the nods, I'm going to say the same thing, but I'm going to change it up a bit so that they go, okay, all right, now I get it. Okay, now let's go on to the next subject,
right?
Or the next piece of whatever it is.
Right. One thing I tell that, one thing that's true in the trade is just because you learn your trade and now you're a licensed guy in a truck doesn't mean anybody taught you how to teach.
Right.
Right. And so when I try to teach the apprentices how to learn, and one thing I try to get them to ask is not what, but could you use different words?
Yeah.
Could you say that with different words?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you actually tell the lead to say something different that you might get it this time.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah. Because that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
You're trying to say it different every time.
Say it different. Not every time, but multiple ways while I'm presenting it so they get an idea. Unless right off the bat, the first thing I say, everybody goes, okay.
Yeah.
They start nodding, okay, I don't need to elaborate.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So how would a young person in the trade know that he or she, gals, please get in the trades?
Yes, absolutely.
How do they know if they to take your path and get into the sales? What would be an indicator that they might want to take a fork in the road?
You mean towards sales or training or anything like that? Have your foundation good first. Learn what you need to learn. Get your apprenticeship. At least like I did 3.5 years. I needed to do 4. Probably should have finished it.
Sure.
But so finish that. Get your foundation solid, and then. Do you like to talk? Personally, I don't really like to talk, but I like to get things across to people where they understand things, and maybe that's what I enjoy about it. And so, if that's something they like to do, by all means, start looking around. There's always people. You guys can't probably find enough people to do your installations, right? You're looking for plumbers all the time, and you're training up your apprentices. Yep. But the same thing applies, like the manufacturer's reps. They can't find enough people. Right. The wholesalers always looking for people, right? So, the industry itself has several facets, and all of them are hurting for people. So you come up into one thing, and if whatever way you're leaning, go that direction. Because most likely that'll just they'll absorb you right up in there, and you'll work well in it as long as you have a good foundation. That's kind of just generally, what I would say. Get your foundation right, and then you can build on that any way you want.
Get your foundation in the field.
Yep.
And then if you're lying to talk, you might just want to go, because there's a lot of guys that don't want to talk. They just want to just give me the job, tell me what I'm supposed to do, and leave me alone. Right? There's a million people like that.
That's right. Yeah.
But if you're one that likes to talk and enjoys interaction with people,
I like that. Yeah.
Like you miss being not in front of people.
Exactly. I like being out, and believe it or not, even though it's a hassle, I don't hate traveling yet.
Awesome. I always come back exhausted, but I love going.
Yes,
for sure.
Still, again, this is what I was hoping for, and I've done this in one way or another for 20 years, 22 years now. So,
wow.
And so I miss it. COVID, put the hurt on it for a while,
sure.
A year and a half or so, and but we're back, and repercussions of everything that happened over that year and a half, 2 year period of time. We're still feeling that, aren't we? Right. So we have some things that we're still dealing with for the most part, but things are opening back up. We're not wearing masks now. That's fun. I wore it when I needed to. I'm double vaxxed and boosted. Looking at maybe getting my second boost. But I still plan on. Anything could change tomorrow, but right now I'm still planning on doing this for a few more years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, it seems like in the trades we go do our work all day long, and our counterparts are in college as an apprentice, right?
Okay, yeah.
Counterparts are in college. They come home and they study. They're prepping for finals and that kind of thing. And in the trades, we kind of go home and drink beer, do whatever else, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what else would you suggest a person do after work to excel their learning as an apprentice?
Lots of opportunities. It's good that you asked that because we were just talking about this earlier. Someone was saying, well, what else can I do? I came to a training class. I enjoyed it. You got to know that all of us trainers and manufacturers that have trainers and people like yourself that what have we been doing for the last year and a half, 2 years? Well, I sat behind a desk and we got a bunch of YouTube stuff out there. We got videos left and right. We got videos way back, 10 years ago, all the way up to now. And those are still available. So if you have extra time at night, if you want to go home and drink a beer, we've got, just speaking about what Taco's doing, and our competitors are doing similar things as well. Go back and see what's online. Grab a beer and sit through one of our Taco After Dark sessions. We actually do those on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I don't enjoy them as much as my boss and my counterpart, residential counterpart, would do. So I'm out on the road and I can't partake in those. And I would just soon be doing this or, training anyway. But there's all kinds of live training you can get on Taco After Dark and other similars. Mm-hmm. And we also do on Tuesdays, a lot of times people talked about Taco Tuesday. Well, we've had Taco Tuesday forever. Our reps will buy tacos and we'll have a training class on Tuesday, and we call that Taco Tuesday. But we also have a thing that we do from the factory that's Taco Tuesday, and we do it on different topics. We usually will do every couple weeks, and so 1 week we'll do a venue that's specifically on commercial applications and commercial Taco product, and then the following session we'll do on residential focused or wholesale product focused, and we'll do those. And those are during the day. That's noon Eastern time, so 9 o'clock our time out in Pacific. So those are the kind of things. You can do those on lunch times. You can do those after hours and that sort of thing. So I would say just start looking online.
So how much do those cost?
Those are free.
Free?
Yes, free learning.
Free learning. Instead of going to college and paying tens of thousands of dollars.
Coming home with a bunch of debt. Literally, I know people that are in their mid-50s that are still paying off. This one gal I know is still paying off debt from way back when. And I'm not sure. I know everybody's wanting to be forgiven. Again, I'm not going to get into political into that whole thing, but there's debt. There's a whole bunch of debt out there. And one thing the U.S. is doing is they're spending more than they make.
Absolutely.
That's the first principle we should teach people is live within your means.
Right. Which takes me to my next point.
Yeah.
So one thing I think is really cool about the trades is we actually make money.
Yeah.
We actually take parts and skills and we put it together. And we take $12 of parts or whatever it is, and it turns into $300 or something. Yeah. We actually make money.
You're making money.
But we don't actually talk about what to do with the money once we make it. What would you say? Like, do you have any tips for that for a young person? Like,
well, I'll just repeat myself. Live within your means.
Okay. What does that mean to you?
That means if you make X amount of dollars a week, you try to live within that X amount of dollars a week, and it means rooming up and bunking for a while until you're because as you work more, you're going to make more money. I mean. Sure. We know it's established. It's year and decade after decade and century after century. As you come up in a trade or a profession or anything, you generally make more money.
Right.
And then you can start living more like But everybody wants to be a millionaire right off the bat, and they're trying to live like one. They're living in debt, and it just ultimately ends up hurting them. So live within your means, used to be, just figure out what your ratio is. I don't want to get on all stuff. I got into debt-free living, and we're able to do that, and have been debt-free for 25 years. But that took a lot of work to get that right. So so maybe look into something like that, and look into. Again, I'll just reemphasize the fact: just what you make, and don't try to spend more than that.
Sure.
Yeah. Again, the good thing about our trades in this industry and everything, we're starting to pay people more too.
Yeah, these kids are making some good money.
Some real good money. I mean, I'll give you my brother. He just retired a couple of years ago. He's been a plumber all of his life. He's the one that got me into the trade, right? And he's 5 years older than I am, and he recently retired. But those guys, they'll go up what we call up in Alaska on the North Slope, Borough, and they'll work up in the villages and stuff. Yeah. They'll work 6 weeks on, get a couple weeks off. But that whole 6 weeks, they're just banking money. Yeah. And they're getting all kinds of overtime. They're not just working 8 hours a day.
Yeah, they're working.
They're working 12 hours a day for 6 days a week.
And they're working so much they can't spend it.
They can't spend it.
They come back with all of it.
Unless they have a significant other back at home that they're sending it home to. So you never know. But there's a whole bunch of money to be made, for sure.
Sure. Yeah. One last question that might lead to a couple more.
Okay.
Tell me about this goatee. You've got an awesome goatee, man.
Thank you. You know what? It's my I guess it's my rebellion against COVID. Okay. I started growing it. I've always had a goatee. I kept it pretty short like yours, right? A little longer. I think January 1, I had it trimmed back at 1 inch. And I said, I'm just going to let it grow for a year. So I got to get to December 31st and see what happens. But I've grown it out before, and then, I just cut it off. You get tired of it after a while. And
this is 6 months?
This is, it was 1 inch long in January 1st.
Wow.
So whatever that is. And so I'll let it go a year and see what it looks like, and take some pictures and then cut it all off.
Yeah.
Or cool. Something. Or if I might like it a lot, and I might leave it. So,
yeah. Awesome.
Some distinction. I'm a bald-headed guy. How many bald-headed guys with goatees are there out there?
Yeah, sure.
And there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Of all colors.
So yours is better than most.
Well, it's just grown out.
Sure.
Most people don't want to get, just like anything, you have a growing facial hair has stages.
Absolutely.
At first, it's like, what the hell did I do? And why did I do it? Just bear with it a while and start coaxing it to do what you want. And all of a sudden, it starts looking a little better and a little better. And the longer it gets, at least with mine, mine's not that real tight, kinky type of hair. It's more long and flowing, and it's softer. I suppose you could say that. But once it gets longer, it becomes more manageable. Except you got how people wake up with bed hair?
Yeah.
Well, you have bed beard, too.
Bed beard.
Yeah.
Bed beard.
Yep.
So do you have to take a shower to get it all out?
You got to get it. Yeah, well, you just, it gets kinky and weird, and you got to, wash it, just like anything.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever braid or anything like that?
Nope. But my granddaughters have tried before.
Yes, I bet
my granddaughters, they've played with it before. So.
Have you ever heard of Roger Wakefield? Roger Wakefield.
Doesn't ring a bell right now.
He's on Facebook. He's got tons of followers, and he puts out fun videos. He's a plumber.
All right.
Down in Texas, and he's got quite the goatee.
Oh,
or it's not a goatee. It's a, what do you call that?
Fu Manchu?
Just straight across and down too.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't even know if mine's a goatee or whatever it is. Yeah. It's just it doesn't grow real well on the sides, so I just keep it shaved on the sides.
Very cool. He's really branded his goatee mustache look.
Okay.
And, he's
cool.
He does a lot of fun stuff with it, so I'm sure you'll have fun with yours.
All right. Speaking of Texas, I recently picked up that territory. Normally, I have all the western states and western Canada. Got 4 province in Canada and Alaska to San Diego back through Colorado. Within the last probably year and a half or so, they've given me Texas and Oklahoma, and I even go up into Kentucky, drink a little bourbon.
Sure.
And those are all great folks. And I'm actually in Okie. I was born in Oklahoma City.
Oh, awesome.
But I was raised in Alaska.
Right.
And so, where was I going with that? Oh, I was talking about Texas.
Texas.
I recently got that area, and I went down. I started thinking about bourbon, and that's what distracted me. It is. What time is it?
It is getting close to bourbon time.
But I went down there, and some of the plumbing companies, you guys know, because there's some outfits like the Wrench Group and some other things and I'll go down there, and we'll do just a morning training class, a 1-hour session. We'll have 100 people sitting in that class just for a morning kind of session. I get an hour with 100 people, and they're all apprentices and all plumbers and male, female, all colors. It's like heaven, to be able to spend that much time or that short of time with that many people and try to get something accomplished and let them leave there with some better understanding about systems and what TACO brings to the table. Yeah.
You're leaving a legacy.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think so. I think that's one thing that in the trades we want to. There's something that money can't buy. A feeling of pride or something that when we teach another young person what has served us so well, it feels so cool when they pick it up and go run with it.
Oh man, yeah. And again, I won't get into the details, but my family's in the business as well. So my kids are both in the industry one way or another. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome.
Dennis the Apprentice. I love
Yes.
it.
Rick, come again.
All right, we will. And actually, I'm back this session. We were just here, 2 months ago, was it?
Just a couple months ago.
As long as I can put it on the calendar, Nick gives me an invitation, we'll come back and make it happen. And you got a great facility here, by the way, and
Awesome.
be glad to, if as long as it makes sense for everybody in the room, and we can put it on the calendar, we'll come back as often as you want us to.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yep.